Hello everyone and welcome back to Paula's English Transformational Learning, where we take your English to the next level. Today we're diving into the world of storytelling. Specifically, we're looking at narrative tenses, the essential tools you need to describe past events clearly, vividly, and effectively. So if you want to sound natural and confident when telling stories in English, stay with me until the end. This lesson is definitely for you. Narrative tenses are used when we talk about the past. They help us structure stories and anecdotes in a way that makes sense to the listener. The four main narrative tenses are past simple, past continuous, past perfect simple, past perfect continuous. And now let's look at each one with clear examples. We use the past simple to describe completed actions in the past, events in chronological order, past habits or states. Here are some clear examples. My family and I went to the Alps last year. We skied in the mountains in the morning. They trained from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then had lunch. When I was a kid, I never wore jeans. I didn't like them. The past continuous is ideal for 1. Setting the background to a story. 2. Describing scenes or situations that lasted some time. 3. Referring to ongoing actions interrupted by another event. Now, let's take a closer look at the examples. It was a cold winter morning. It was snowing heavily. They were living together in those days, but then they split up. I was taking a bath when you phoned. Now, notice the difference between these two uses. In they were living together in those days but then split up, we have two parallel actions in the past. The first one, were living, describes a situation that was true for some time, and the second, split up, shows how that period ended. In I was taking a bath when you phoned, the past continuous, was taking a bath, sets the background. It's a longer ongoing action, while the past simple, you phoned, introduces a shorter action that interrupts it. This structure helps show what was happening when something else suddenly occurred. Past perfect simple. We use the past perfect simple to talk about 1. Actions that happened before another event in the past. 2. Situations or states that started earlier and are already completed by the time of the main past action. Here are some examples. When we arrived at the airport, the plane had already left. I had never seen such beauty before. We'd worked together for 30 years before he retired. The contraction '(D) here stands for had and not would. So when you read we'd work together, it means we had worked together, not we would work together. That would be a conditional. So pay attention to the context. That will always help you to decide the correct meaning. And finally, the past perfect continuous. We use this tense to describe actions or situations that were in progress for a period of time before another past event. Here are some examples. Negotiations had been going on for months before a company agreed to merge. They had been exchanging love letters before they finally got married in 1920. We'd been walking for hours when we finally found the hotel. Now some practice. Look at the image. Can you describe the situation? Here are some ideas to guide you. What was the weather like that day? Where were they going? How were they feeling? What had they done before calling the taxi? What were they doing when the taxi arrived? So these are some clues that can really help you to write your story. Feel free to type your story in the comments below. I'll be ready and more than welcome to read your stories and then comment on them. Here's a model short story based on the picture on the left. It was a sunny spring morning in New York. Tom and Kevin were going on their dream trip to Europe. They had been planning it for years. They were so excited that their day had finally come. They had called a taxi to take them to the airport, and they were waiting for it on the sidewalk when it arrived. Their adventure had finally started.